G'day there guys, it's Connor here again, and thanks for tuning in once more to some more stories from Reddit. As always, if you enjoy these videos, be sure to hit like and subscribe, and also the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Alrighty, let's get right into the stories. Okay folks, we're on Am I the A-Hole? This one was written by user IndependentLog2003, and it's titled, Am I the A-Hole for skipping our twins' high school graduation for the birth of our older daughter's baby? My husband, 48, and I, 47, have 3 wonderful children, twins, 18 male and 18 female, and an older daughter, 25 female. Recently we were faced with an incredibly difficult situation, and now our twins are very upset with us. We are genuinely torn and wondering if we made the wrong decision. Our older daughter was due to give birth around the same time as the twins' high school graduation. As fate would have it, she went into labour on the exact day of the graduation ceremony. This was our first grandchild, and our daughter was understandably anxious and wanted us by her side. We made the tough call to be there for her, thinking that we could make it up to the twins later. We did inform the twins about the situation, hoping they would understand, but they were clearly disappointed. Since then, they've been giving us the silent treatment and have been ignoring us completely. They've been going out together, buying food for themselves, and even celebrating their graduation without us. It's heartbreaking to see them so hurt and distant. They aren't speaking to their sister either, which makes the situation even more painful. Our son bluntly told us that he values us and his sister more than a baby who has its whole life ahead, while the graduation is a once-in-a-lifetime event. He also warned us not to try talking to his sister, saying she wouldn't bother giving trash parents the satisfaction of a response. I've noticed that my husband is deeply affected by this. He tries to stay strong, but I can see the pain in his eyes every time the twins ignore him or make hurtful comments. He suggested we spend the entire week spoiling them with gifts and special outings to make it up to them. We thought maybe we could do something special to show them how much we care, and to celebrate their achievements in a different way. Unfortunately, this idea didn't seem to bridge the gap either. We're genuinely at a loss and filled with regret. We thought they would understand the importance of both events and that we could celebrate their graduation later in a special way, but seeing their reaction, we can't help but wonder if we made a grave mistake. So, am I the a-hole for skipping our twins' high school graduation for the birth of our grandchild? We are deeply saddened by the rift this has caused in our family and are desperately seeking advice on how to mend it. Yeah, this is tricky. I mean, they're both once-in-a-lifetime events, right? Like, how do you discern which is more important in this situation? I think everyone would probably have their own opinion on what's more important or not. Like, personally, I'd probably put the birth a little bit before the graduation, but that's just me. But I also can't help but think that the birth happening at the exact time of the graduation would be pretty unlikely. Like, surely at least one of them could have gone to the graduation and filmed it or something, and then gone to the hospital later while she was actually giving birth. But then again, I don't know the exact details. The comments should be interesting here. Let's check them out. I really wish people would stop skipping once-in-a-lifetime events and then talk about how they'll make it up to the person later. You can never make this up to them, ever. You will never have the chance to see them cross the stage in their graduation robes, to take pictures with them and their favourite teachers and friends. It's over. Gifts and spoiling won't make up for this. You didn't need to both be with your oldest daughter. I'd argue neither of you needed to be, depending on where in the labour process she was. Your twins will never forget that you weren't there. Of course they're celebrating with each other and others who care about their achievement. This was your first grandchild? Yeah, and these are 2 of your actual children. You messed up big time. You need to apologise with no justification. Tell them how and why you were wrong to miss their day, and hopefully they will forgive you. Was your eldest daughter literally giving birth while your twins were having their graduation ceremony? You couldn't have gone to see them graduate and then go to your eldest daughter's side? Does your eldest daughter have a significant other, like the baby's father or a best friend that was also with her while she laboured? Kind of crappy of her to not realise it's her sibling's graduation and insist that you attend. You could have stayed in contact over the phone. One of you could have gone and one of you could have stayed and FaceTimed at the ceremony. You could have asked someone to live stream the graduation. To just not go at all if there was a way you could have, while also making sure your eldest was not alone, would definitely make you the a-hole in my eyes. Sister too, though I guess she may have not been thinking her clearest. You're the a-hole. Even though it was unintentional, you basically just showed your twins that your elder daughter is more important to you than they are. This was a once-in-a-lifetime event for them both, and you chose to be elsewhere. Labour takes a long time, usually. You could have told your oldest daughter that the family would be there after the graduation, or one of you, either yourself or your husband, could have gone to the hospital while the other went to the graduation. Instead, your twins were likely some of the only people who had no one there supporting them during this important occasion. It's going to take a long time before you'll even come close to making this up to them. Opie, I say this with the utmost gentleness because it sounds like a really tough and really emotional situation you were in, and no one does their best thinking under that kind of pressure, but you're the a-hole. You and your husband are not a 2-for-1. I think you should have planned this better, since the chance always existed she would go into labour on graduation day. You should have involved them in the planning well in advance. Quote, if this happens, one of us will be at the graduation and one of us will be at the hospital. We would like to try to have the parent at the graduation live stream it to the parent at the hospital to check in for. You made no effort to participate in their graduation day. None. I understand giving birth is a medical event. Your daughter is not unreasonable for being anxious and wanting her parents around to support her. However, 1. Were you in the delivery room with her? Based on my experiences, I think it's unlikely both you and your husband would be. If anything, it would be you. If neither of you were in the delivery room but just in the waiting room, then double you're the a-hole. 2. Was she having closed contractions at the time of the graduation? I know labour can change quickly, but first-time deliveries can also take a lot of time. You do not provide a timeline comparing labour and delivery to the graduation, but I think it's probably, or statistically at least, that while she was in labour on graduation day, she either delivered before or after the ceremony. And 3. Had your daughter talked to you ahead of time about being present for her labour? And again, were both of you in the delivery room? Especially if that was a last-minute switch, you very clearly dropped 2 of your children in favour of another, and I don't think you can really appropriately appreciate how hurtful that is. You reap what you sow, OP. You sacrificed your twins' graduation day, which is a once-in-a-lifetime event. There's no making that up, for your daughter's childbirth. Both are huge, both are monumental. All children are entitled to want their parents present. You and your husband did a really shoddy job anticipating that you would be in this situation, and once you were in it, you made the worst choice possible. You can rationalise that one is more serious than another. If something goes wrong at either event, it's the delivery that's going to have possibly life-altering consequences, and you wouldn't be wrong for thinking about it that way, but that's not appreciating the big picture, which has more perspectives than just that of your daughter's well-being. At the end of the day, you should have planned, communicated, and made an actual effort to be present for all of your children, rather than trying to write an IOU. Another comment says, Editor ad, after seeing Opie's comments, it sounds like they could have easily had at least one parent attend the graduation, and that the elder daughter went into labour and they completely dismissed the twins from their minds. I'm also guessing from the twins' reaction that the parents make a habit of putting the twins second or third or last. You're the a-hole. Info, why didn't at least one of you go to the graduation? Did your daughter have a husband or boyfriend there? Why couldn't you have left long enough for the graduation? Was she in serious labour by that time? Opie replies, to clarify, our daughter's boyfriend left her when he found out she was pregnant. When she went into labour, we both rushed to be with her, and in the moment we weren't thinking straight. We were overwhelmed and wanted to support her through the birth of her first child. Looking back, we realised that one of us should have gone to the graduation. It was a major oversight on our part, and we deeply regret it. We were so focused on being there for our daughter that we didn't consider the impact our absence would have on the twins' important day. We know we are the a-holes in this situation, and we're trying to find a way to make it right. And one last comment says, you're the a-hole, both of you, talk about favouritism. Opie says, I know it seems like it, but we really don't have favourites. We both love our children equally. We were dumb and made a decision on the spot, and we regret it a lot. Yeah, well, at least it sounds like Opie's taking the comments to heart. Let's go to the update. First of all, thank you to everyone who read and responded to my original post. It blew up far more than I expected, and I appreciate all the honest feedback. I want to start by saying that my husband and I love all our children equally, and never intended to hurt our twins. We lost sight of how important the twins' graduation was. We made a rash decision, and it was a terrible mistake. To address a common question from the comments, The reason we were in such a hurry to get to our daughter's labour is that when I was pregnant with the twins, I had a miscarriage scare. The fear and anxiety from that experience still haunts me, and when our older daughter went into labour, those emotions came rushing back. We were terrified something might go wrong, and we felt an overwhelming need to be with her. After reading the comments on my original post, I showed my husband what I'd written and the responses we received. He was deeply affected by the feedback and agreed that we needed to apologise sincerely. We decided to have a family meeting. It was one of the hardest conversations we've ever had, but it was necessary. We apologised to our twins, expressing our deep regret for missing their graduation and for the pain we caused them. My husband, with tears in his eyes, admitted that we made the wrong choice and asked for their forgiveness. I followed, echoing his sentiments and apologising for not being there for them during such an important milestone. The twins were understandably still upset, but they listened. Our son spoke up, saying that while it will take time to heal, he appreciated our apology. Our daughter expressed how much it hurt to feel like they were second place, but said she was willing to work towards rebuilding our relationship. They both ultimately accepted our apologies. We are planning a special celebration just for them, inviting their friends and other family members who supported them. It wasn't a replacement for the graduation we missed, but it was a step towards showing them how much we care. This experience has taught us a valuable lesson about priorities and communication. We are deeply sorry for the pain we've caused, and we hope that with time and effort, our family can heal and grow stronger from this. I'm sorry for hurting my two precious babies, and thank you Reddit for being brutally honest. Okie dokie folks, and that's the end of that story. Yeah, plenty of harsh lessons learned, but I'm sure they'll be better off for it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Alrighty, well let's move on to another story. Nice, okay, we're on Am I the A-hole again. This one was written by user PinDry258, and it's titled, Am I the A-hole for tricking my parents into being on time for my wedding? My, male 33, parents are late for everything. Like everything. Both of my sisters and myself have been disappointed so many times. Graduation ceremonies, birthday parties, even my father's retirement dinner. It is completely my mother's fault. She is a wonderful mother and I love her dearly. She just does not understand the concept of punctuality. I've seen her talking to her sister on the phone and reminded her she needed to be at my baby's sister's dance recital. She waved me off and arrived after my sister had danced. We are all used to it. My dad is just done trying to get her to be on time for anything. My now wife, 28, told me in no uncertain terms that if my mother was late for our wedding, she would do terrible things to me. She was only half joking, but she was a witness to my mum and dad arriving halfway through my cousin's quinceañera. So here is what I did. It's completely on me. My wife was not involved. If there's a dick move, it was completely mine. When we were getting samples for the wedding, I talked to the printer and had one special invitation printed with the time on it, stated it being 1 hour earlier than the actual starting time of the ceremony. My mother was besides herself apparently when they left the house and thought they were going to miss the wedding since she was a part of it with her and my mother-in-law lighting the candles we would use to light the Unity candle and stuff. When she arrived and noticed other people were also just arriving and parking, she was so relieved that we were starting late that she just went with it. The ceremony went off beautifully, and so did the wedding pictures and the reception. The problem came last Sunday. My parents came over for a big family dinner, and we didn't bother starting the grill until they showed up. She asked why everyone wasn't eating, and we just said we knew we'd be waiting for them since they're always late. She said that she was not always late and had been on time for my wedding. She hadn't been. They arrived 45 minutes after the time on their invitation. My idiot cousin John, real name because it's common and he deserves people to know he's adult, snorted at her statement. A few other people giggled or smiled at this, and she picked up and asked what was so funny. I came clean and told her about the special invitation. She is ticked at me for not trusting her and making her look foolish in front of everyone. If my cousin had just controlled himself, she would have never known. Am I the a-hole? Yeah, the invitation is a consequence of her actions, so she really only has herself to blame for being perceived that way in my eyes. What do you guys think? Let's check out the comments. Not the a-hole. How can she complain? If you had sent her an invite with the real time, then she would have been 45 minutes late. She should appreciate the fact that you wanted her to be there enough that you took the time to make her a special invite to ensure she arrived on time. Not the a-hole. She's embarrassed because she has a problem showing up on time, and you proved it. Just keep repeating that she was 45 minutes late. Flat out tell her that had you not lied to her, she would have missed your wedding, and that not only will you never apologise for what you did, you want an apology from her for being 45 minutes late in the first place, not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Opie's mother. Why didn't you trust me to be on time? Proceeds to arrive late. Logic, gone. Hotel, Trivago. Not the a-hole, but realistically prepare for them to be even later from now on because she doesn't know if you're providing the real time. Not the a-hole, but I don't understand why everyone is catering to someone who is consistently very late for everything. You have a time to light the grill, then light the damn grill. Why should everyone sit around hungry because one person is inconsiderate? She shows up after everyone has eaten. Show mum where the leftover food is stored. She is late for a dinner, dance, movie, whatever. Proceed without her. She has trained all of you that she's the most important person ever. Now I do understand about the wedding, even though I'm gritting my teeth about that, lol. But why does everyone think her time is more important than their own? I was months married. He was not late in 2 years of dating, and he made us late for my nephew's wedding vows. That was it. Never again. He wasn't ready. I left on time. Told everyone, he's so late, so I told him to not show up. Not ready for Christmas at my parents' house? Tough noogies. I enjoyed Christmas Day and didn't bring home his Christmas gifts. If you're going to be late, don't bother showing up. And I meant it. My husband caught on fast, and only after a few incidents of being left out and banned from showing up late, he's been on time or even early the past 37 years, lol. Edit, I mean he made us late within the 10 months of marriage. Weddings, doctor's appointments, getting to work, holidays, dinners with others, vacation departure times. After the first 10 months is when I told him no more of making me late. I did not mean I was that harsh over the course of 37 years. Yeah, it goes without saying, it's incredibly disrespectful, if nothing else. Opie makes a couple edits and then a couple updates. Part of the reason she's mad is because she had her invitation framed. To be honest, I was already planning a heist with my sister to replace it with the real one in case she ever noticed the discrepancy between hers and the one we have framed in our home. Edit 2. Yeah, we are Latinos, and no, I do not in any way consider it racist. How many of you guessed that? I've been to Spain and it's an issue there too, and the Philippines, basically anywhere those guys were in charge. And edit 3, stop defending John. He and I have spent 30 years messing with each other. I have an Am I the A-hole story that extends with me getting an offensive tattoo, $5,000 for removal, and him getting a body cavity search at the Mexican border. I would post it, but it happened like 10 years ago. Okay, and it seems like Opie gives in to the pressure. He posts a story about the body cavity search. Fine, you win. Here's the relevant part of the story. I grew up with my older cousin John. We constantly fight like in a cartoon. I also know I can trust him with my life, and he knows I'll always have his back. We do, however, try and F with each other as much as possible because it's funny. So he and I went on a vacation to Mexico. Things happened, I got a tattoo, different story. Anyways, since we all have relatives all over, I can always find anything I need. In this particular case, what I needed was some of the substance that cops use to train drug-sniffing dogs. It is not an illegal or controlled substance in Mexico, but the dogs will hit on you if they smell it. So I have to stay in Mexico a few extra days to deal with some of the situation he created. I was kind enough to take him to the border in Tijuana I think, so our other cousin could pick him up on the American side. I was just hoping he would get the shot scared out of him when the drug dogs hit on his luggage. We learned from a young age never to carry anything illegal over international borders because we are almost always selected for screening. I knew for a fact he was clean, just hungover. Anyways, it turns out that when a kid born in a certain South American country carrying a Canadian passport and only a backpack crosses the border and the drug dogs indicate he should be searched, he gets very thoroughly searched. And when they don't find anything, well, let's just look at the title of this post. He thinks I went too far. Am I the a-hole? Edit, yes, I'm fully aware it was overkill. Can I defend my actions? Not really. Taken as a totality of our lives though, I still probably owe him for the stuff he's done to me. Like a lot. For the record, I did apologise. Yeah, I mean a body cavity search would be very, what's the word? Intimate? Anyway, Opie makes an update to the first story. 2 years later. My parents have been embarrassed for 2 years now because of how I tricked them into being on time for my wedding. Pretty much every time I see them, they say I was a dick not to trust them. Our church is very busy and full of young people, so lots of weddings, to the point where there are 3 weddings every Saturday all summer long. 1 at 10, 1 at noon, and 1 at 3. Sometimes, but not often, there is also an evening wedding. My little sister just got married. She snagged the noon slot. My mum got super involved in planning the wedding to prove that I'm just an immature a-hole. She said that she would be on time and not miss anything. Side note, I personally hate when people clink glasses to get the bride and groom to kiss. At our wedding, people had to sing a song. My cousin John has no shame and sang like 10 times. I think people were bribing him with alcohol. I set up a betting pool for kisses depending on how late my parents were. It cost $10, and if you guessed within 5 minutes, you got a free pass to make my sister and her husband kiss. Almost everyone bet on time because of the crap stravaganza at my wedding. The correct answer was 25 minutes. Only me, my dick cousin John, and his sister Yvonne got free passes for the kissing, and I bet $100. I was confident. We raised almost $1,500 for the honeymoon with my stupid idea, and I got to interrupt my sisters from eating with my 10 passes. Win-win. Except for my mum, who thinks I did it to embarrass her. She literally helped plan the wedding and was still late, by over half an hour. We were literally cleaning up the decorations in my sister's colours while the next wedding was decorating after us. So that's that. My mum will never change, but I have harnessed her inability to give a crap about punctuality for the good of humanity. See you whenever my littlest sister gets married. Later. What a great story. Yeah, it's clear that Opie's making the most of his mum's, problem. But yeah, I can't help but feel like he's right when he says that his mum will never change. What a shame. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Alrighty, well that's it from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed those stories. Thanks for making it to the end, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day. Cheers.